Hello, welcome to Taxpayer Alert. I'm Al Segalla. I'll be your host for the show. I'm also president of the Calaveras County Taxpayer Association. As you may know by now, we have some really interesting speakers, and we interview people that are in the know, and by watching this program, you know things that nobody else does. This program is no exception. We have two guests this time. There's Ron Regan. Welcome, Ron.
My pleasure.
And then Susan Tomasich.
Thank you.
Susan is also a videographer, and she videotapes for many, many years the Board of Supervisors meetings and the Planning Commission. And on top of that, she keeps track of all these videos and then uploads them to YouTube so they can be seen by anybody. And sometimes they go viral. And so this is something new for Susan. She's involved in senior housing together with Ron. Ron is a developer type guy, and Susan helps in marketing this plan and keeping track of this. Runs a website. Well, anyway, let's do some self-introductions. Susan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I think you already covered it. I'm a county videographer, and I do marketing for Assist Care Communities of Amador County, which is actually now Assist Care Senior Communities. We've changed our logo a little bit and our name a little bit to more accurately reflect what we do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. How long have you been doing the videotaping?
Since 2011. And I started working with Ron in 2015, right before my hip surgery.
Right.
Huh. My wife also had hip surgery. Turned out later she didn't need it.
Oh.
but at least they didn't screw it up. She's walking okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ron, how'd you get involved in the senior housing stuff?
Well, my background is in construction and in development. And we developed a subdivision in Jackson. And we had a lot, an acre lot, a multifamily lot. And I was approached by a group to build a RCFE, residential care facility for the elderly.
Right.
I didn't even know what it was. So they put together a package, hired a local architect, Susan Baracco, and they were put it all together, and then they went for funding. And unfortunately, they were unable to get it funded, so they didn't purchase the property. After reviewing some of the information that they gave, I contacted a couple folks and asked them, well, what is this? Assisted living, residential care for the senior. And a gentleman that became my partner, Dan Weisslein, and another partner, Dana Buchanan, got together and we decided that there was a need for it. And so we thought, well, let's see if we can put together a package. And what happened was that we were able to secure an individual who had experience, Jerry Jones, and he put it to us that he could put it. He could too many puts. He was able to go through the process to get it licensed and so on. So we moved on to construction, and we opened up in 1992, and it's called Amador Residential Care. And it continues today. We own and operate it. It's 155 Placer Drive.
I see. Now you have many more facilities. Is that correct?
Yes. Over the period of time, we first of all, in 1998, we purchased a bed and breakfast. It was called Gold Quartz Inn. It had the operations had ceased to be profitable, and the owner approached me. and we reviewed it as a potential space, and in turn purchased it, and in 1998. And then in 2001, actually in 2000, we found that there was a need for memory care, dementia residents, and higher levels of care. And so we again pursued it and built a 15-unit, 30-bed facility for memory care. And that's called Jackson Gardens. And then later on, we 2 years ago, we started in the independent living business. Oh, excuse me. Before that, we acquired in 2005 Oak Manor, which was a 50-unit location. And again, it had difficulties, and we purchased it and remodeled it and opened up in 2006 as an RCFE, residential care facility for the elderly, and licensed by the state.
I'm getting close to that myself.
Yes.
78.
Yes. It was a jump, yes.
Susan, tell us how you're going to evolve with this, and what do you do?
Boy, that is a very circuitous route. I was working with a group that was going to they were trying to put together a real estate trust that would be with senior living. Mm-hmm. And that group fell apart, but Ron got my name from that, and he called me up, and I went and talked to him, and the rest is history. Right. So it's been a very...
We didn't have a web page, and obviously in today's environment, having a web page is a major portion of your marketing program. We didn't have any presence on
social media.
Social media, right. And her expertise, she generated an exceptional, I feel, web page, and then brought us into the social media market and has helped us navigate that. That is not my work, so I defer a lot of that to her.
I never learned Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook is one of her great attributes, by the way.
And actually, Facebook's worked out really great for us lately because they've added a job category, and I've posted job listings on all 4 of our Facebook pages. We've been getting a lot of action on it, actually. I think I pretty much get 1 or 2 every day.
Oh, wow.
So it's really helped attract some employment opportunities for people, and our Facebook page shows people all the activities that we're doing in our communities and the fun things that happen in our Employee of the Month. So it's a great place to go and look to see what's happening.
Right.
How many employees do you have, Ron?
Right now, it varies a little bit, but right now about 105. And there's a lot of training that goes on, especially for new hires. The state requires us to have 40 hours worth of training before they go on the floor. And then another 16 hours of that we have to participate in what we call shadowing and so on. We have a great team. We have a lot of great folks that work for us. I'm very proud of our folks. They, for example, when the power is out and there was no power at home to shower and cook and so on, they all showed up for their helping the residents in spite of the issues that they were associated at their home.
Right.
You can't ask for any better, incentives.
That, and I have to jump in. I have interviewed over the years. I produce our newsletter, and I've interviewed many of our staff members over the years. And without exception, one of the comments they make is, I like working here because this is my extended family. They feel that way about the residents. They feel that way about each other, and they've all become very close-knit. So
caring.
It truly is very caring. If something happens to a resident or a family member or a staff, everybody cares about it, and everybody's worried about it. Everybody tries to give what support they can. So I just have been so impressed with the fact that, without exception, they go, this is my extended family. And you can't get that in a corporate type environment.
Yeah.
We've had some real difficult times when we had the fires in Calaveras County. It started in Amador, but most of it was in Calaveras.
Right.
We have a lot of our employees were without homes, and a number of them actually came. We had empty rooms, and we moved families in, and during that period to assist them until they could get back to their homes.
We also have contracts with both Calaveras County and Amador County APS.
Yes.
So we have beds reserved for.
Right. Adult Protective Services is we serve the community with contracts with the county, and we have beds available for at all times. And
that's for people that are like victims, or
yes.
Yeah, they're victims. A lot of times, unfortunately, they're victims of their own families trying to.
Sometimes it is.
Get their...
Majority of it is there may be issues associated with spousal relationships or other and we serve obviously because of our license. We have restrictions as to age, so
can't be too young.
Pardon me?
You can't be too young?
No, yes, you can be. Yeah, they have to be 60 or plus, and we worked with both of the counties and helped them when there was need.
It seemed like a lot of all your clients are getting towards the end of their lifespan.
Yes.
So that brings up the respite care
Respite care, yes.
And so you have
respite care is for folks that need short-term, then usually less than 2 weeks, and they have, say, a family's going on an outing, and they have a person that has challenges. Well, then we offer respite care, but in other words, it's a daily rate,
right,
and they may stay for one to a couple weeks. After a couple weeks, it's because it's a daily rate. It's more expensive, and it's better to use a monthly rate.
Right.
So we recommend anybody who's going to stay more than 2 weeks that we do a monthly rate because it's less expensive for them.
I understand.
And we do have people that come for respite care on a regular basis. So
yes.
They'll maybe come 1 week a month.
Right.
And that's great.
Yeah.
Now, that's hospice also involved. Is that correct?
Yes, we work with hospice. There are 4 firms that we work with, but most of them is probably everybody is aware of it. Amador, Calaveras Hospice, and we generally have at least 6 residents all the time that are on hospice. Sometimes it runs up to as many as 10. We work very closely with hospice and with the hospitals, discharge planners, and the physician community, along with obviously the church groups and senior citizens. Area
12,
Area 12.
Agency on Aging.
Yeah.
So, in fact, we have a contract for respite care with Area 12 Agency on Aging.
That's correct.
And that's something the viewers should know, that if you are caring for someone at home, you can get up to 16 hours free a month through Area 12 Agency on Aging.
Oh, really?
Right. Yes.
And there's no income requirement on that.
Oh.
So that is a really good resource.
Right. I'm not really sure how they generate their revenues to offer this. Is it from the state or is
It's
it
federal.
Federal? It's federal money.
Federal funding distributed through the state. So Area 12 is a state agency, but it's federal funding.
Right.
Now, I assume that all your guests are retired, but maybe they're not retired by choice. They'd like to do something, and perhaps there would be opportunities where they could be working on different projects.
Are you talking about like volunteers
or for pay?
No, we employ. In fact, our most senior employee, I think she's 82 years old, and she's there every day at Gold Quartz. Well, I shouldn't say every day because she works a 40-hour week, so I have to be careful. But she is quite helpful with them, and there's a lot of camaraderie and identification, and she does, she does bingo with them, and she takes them to we have a van that we go to various outings and so on, and she's quite a participant.
Yes, they go to all the music in the parks on
Yes.
Friday night in the summertime over in Amador County.
Right.
That's interesting. Well, in the computer age we have now, a lot of people can work out of their homes and on the internet, and they don't have to go to some place to go to work. They can work at home. Would they be computers in the facility?
We do in the independent living. In the independent folks are cognitively capable and are able to do a lot of these activities that you're speaking to in relation to computers and or other activities.
Right.
The higher levels, when we start talking about the cognitive capabilities and the degradation that goes along with certain chronic illnesses, i.e. dementia, Alzheimer's, and
Okay,
so
I
on.
understand there's 4 levels, is that right?
That is correct. There's 4 levels. After independent, obviously, there are 4 levels of care. And at level 1 is for folks that can basically take care of themselves, i.g., for example, they're bathing themselves, taking care of hygiene, socializing by themselves, don't need assistance, and so on. That's level 1. But what we do is they may have other situations that would require assistance they call it activities of daily living. And say if they're missing a couple activities of daily living, whether it be from inability to get around, take care of themselves, and so on, or they just desire to have assistance in housekeeping and laundry and so on. Level 2 is where there's a slight degradation from that, and for example, in bathing, we may be doing standby. In other words, when they bathe, we will be approximate to them so that they don't fall or they may need assistance. Their activities of daily living have some restrictions. They're unable to maybe do laundry anymore. They are unable to cook for themselves anymore. So that would be level 2. Level 3, we start moving into folks that have a lot of they have cognitive difficulties, inability to manage themselves, and they need basically to have assistance all the time. And then level 4, which is our memory care, and for very physical issues that are big challenges, and they may be bedridden, they may be on hospice. They may have dementia to the point that they are unable to be alone by themselves for any time whatsoever.
Right. Do you have people that are suffering from depression?
Depression?
Yeah. Pretty hard. If you've got TVs going all the time, maybe
sure.
not.
But depression, I think we don't see a lot of the symptoms of depression. Because of the social activities and our staff is working with them.
They're busy, okay.
They're keeping them busy and so on. And what we try to do is for example, if depression may indicate that they stay in bed all day or during the day or don't want to leave their room, regress into other watching TV all day and not socializing. Part of our activities that we want to bring to them is to socialize with everybody, come to the dining rooms, go to various activities, bingo, obviously, participation in these activities. When we see that, we see less depression, and I'm sure that it is there, but it's not. It's not evident as much.
I heard on the radio there's a cure for depression.
Oh,
it's called a rhythm.
Rhythm?
If you're dancing or
yes.
your mind can't focus on 2 things at one time. You can't be depressed if you're doing a rhythm.
if you have activities.
So I just wondered, do they dance?
They do sometimes.
Yeah, we do have some, but something that's interesting. You say that. It's quite frankly, I didn't even think about that. And here I am. I deal with with seniors all the time, but I didn't think about the dancing and so on is an offsetting measure to depression.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
You can't be depressed if you're listening to music with rhythm.
Right. Very good. Interesting.
We do have a lot of really great activity people right now.
Yes, we
do. Every year we're doing a car show. This year it was in October. Mm-hmm. We did our second annual car show over at Oak Manor, and then we bring all the residents that want to come from all of our communities. We bring them together. We have people from the public, and we have some amazing cars show up. It's wonderful.
Where do the cars come from?
They are.
It's a group. It's a car club.
Oh, okay.
It's a car club, and then they go to Jackson, probably sometimes maybe San Andreas or Angels.
Yeah.
They come to our facility and
What a great idea!
It's a really great time, and obviously old cars have a lot of identification with our seniors.
Yeah.
And they love it. They to go out and be able to observe, talk.
Yeah.
Touch, feel, and be closely associated with it.
You could have art shows if you want to.
We have not had an art show, but we've had a plant sale, which we are doing that on an annual basis now. We do that over at Gold Courts Inn. Every May we have a Mother's Day tea for all of our ladies.
Aww.
And our gentlemen are kind of sad that they don't get to go because it's
they can have rhythm.
Yeah, they can have rhythm. Well, we have music. It's wonderful. They have little pins. We have them in hats. We have our China tea cups. Oh, it's absolutely lovely. So our activity folks have really stepped it up over the last couple of years.
Right.
They're doing a great job. And socialization is one big issue for seniors and depression. If you have that socialization, you don't see the depression.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
There's also a lot of folks that volunteers that come over, musicians, providing music and singing and so on. There's a lot of church groups that participate on Sundays and bring the pastors bring the message to them at the locations, which is really nice. And there's also various other activities that volunteers and so on. We also we participate by paying some of them because they're paying to have certain groups come in,
right?
And that helps at certain, like for example, Assisted Living Week and then various party arrangements are made.
Mm-hmm. National Assisted Living Week. We celebrate that every year. It's the second week in September.
Mm-hmm.
The second week in September, and it goes from Sunday through Saturday. And we have all kinds of activities. We usually have things like a carnival day where we have popcorn and cotton candy and carnival games to play. Ron's been in the dunking tank quite a few times.
Everybody enjoys to see me get dunked,
That's right. That's right.
30 figure, huh?
That's right. We have pajama day. We can't get through assisted living without our pajama day, which everybody loves. Mm-hmm. But we have all kinds of activities during Assisted Living Week. So it's a celebration from one end to
we have
the
one celebration is the centurions. We have folks that are over 100, and everybody. I think.
How many do you have?
I think we have. I'm going to guess now about 8 to 10, and then we bring them all together. They're at the various facilities.
Yeah.
And I think the oldest was 106, or if I'm correct.
I think you're correct. I was going for 105, but she may have just had another birthday.
Yeah, another record.
Yeah.
For
and
us.
we have 90-plus clubs. So
yes.
At that same time that we celebrate the over 100s, we have everybody that's over 90 gets their certificate, and they get acknowledged as being over 90. So that's
you get a
cool.
cupcake.
Yeah. We have also the Italian picnic, which comes in June in Amador County, actually Sutter Creek. And we have a number of our folks that are participating in that.
I've been to that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
some of the gentlemen with some of these older vehicles. We have a king and queen from and they love the participation, and they learn how to wave.
Yeah. That's cool. It seemed like this is so interesting that you probably have added quite a bit of spice to your own life being involved with it.
Oh, absolutely. It's been an incredible journey for me. I've learned a lot. I've made a lot of really good friends, and I really appreciate the opportunity that Ron has given me because it's been amazing.
Yeah, well, we obviously appreciate your capabilities and what you've done for us. So
now you put together a website.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Assistcare.com.
Okay.
And we have
It's called assistcare.com. That's ASSISTCARE.com.
Now, did you get that? Go get your pencil. We'll say it one more time.
Yeah.
They could put it on the screen, too.
Yeah, it's ASSISTCARE.com.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. It's a great. It presents. Susan's done a great job of each facility, and it has the various items in the webpage for each facility, and tells about it and activities and so on.
Now, how many facilities are there?
There are actually there are 5 locations.
Okay.
The locations are two in Sutter Creek, which is one is the independent living, which is our newest. It's about a year and a half old, and that's called Go-Court Senior Apartments.
Can I pause you right there?
Sure.
The Go-Court Senior Apartments, we talk about independent living. They are set up so that if you're still capable mentally of taking care of yourself, but perhaps you may have a fall. You may have a fall risk. You might be a fall risk. The apartments are set up so we have what do you want to call those things in the bathrooms?
Yeah, they have pendants and
call buttons.
They have a pendant that's on the wall. So if you fell on your bathroom and so on, you push it, and one of our folks will come over and respond to it. They have pagers, and it goes off and it gives the name of the room, the name of the person, and whether or not it's a bathroom or their pendant. They wear a pendant. A lot of folks, the independents, don't choose to. That's up to them. But those that do, it's if anything happens, they can push it, and then within a few minutes, somebody will be in their room attending to them.
That's good security.
It's a really, very great security item, and the good thing about it is we rarely use it because we rarely have the emergencies, but it's there.
Right.
So when
it
there
gives
is
them
one.
peace of mind.
Yes.
Absolutely, and we do a wellness check once a day.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, how many guests do you have?
Right now, I think we have 7. If I might have 8, I'm not really.
No, I mean how many?
How many rooms?
No, how many patients? Or
Well, in the apartments, there's no patients.
Right.
No,
we separate. We have it's a word.
how many people are you helping?
Exactly. In the independent side, we have 2 locations, Oak Manor and Sutter Creek, and we have probably right now about 10. Might even have more than that because I'm putting the 2 together. We have about 8 in Sutter Creek and 4 in Oak Manor.
That makes sense. Yeah.
This has been so interesting. We could use another half hour. Thank you for being a
Thank
guest.
you.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching Taxpayer Alert. See you next time.